Andrew Tate's manager exposes Vice documentary.
Quite interesting is a conversation in a Twitter space with the sartorial shooter, which is the manager, a good friend of Andrew Tate, and he's going to give him the side of the story from the Vice hit piece that was just released. So let's listen to it.
What would you say is the biggest misrepresentation made in that Vice interview?
Okay, thanks for the question. I'd say the biggest misrepresentation, first of all, is Matt himself. So when you interact with him, pretty regular guy, in front of the camera, he was always, oh, I'm timid, I'm a little bit scared, all these big bad guys around me. When the camera's off, he's laughing, he's shaking hands, he's having a good time. So he himself was acting a certain role for the camera. To me, that's
No f***ing shit. He's an investigative reporter, you f***ing moron. How can you possibly think this is like a point in your favor? That what? That you got fooled by a guy who's literally from Vice News?
the biggest lack of congruity. Like congruence. The guy is lying. He was having fun. He was smiling. He was laughing. He was joking. But then when the camera went on, and we noticed it, he goes into this sort of timid, oh, these bad men around me, and they're doing violent things. Absolute nonsense.
He transformed into the soy boy.
He was buzzing after his fight as well, and he said it was a hugely positive thing. His direct quote was, I see the good that you guys are doing here, but then when the event comes out, it's just pure hit job. These guys are evil. It was a joke. At the end of it, when he'd already got all the footage wanted, he was still saying positive things. Because the reality is it was a very positive event, and he took part in it. He was welcomed into it, and he benefited from it. But then in the documentary, he represented it as if it was some big, scary, mysterious thing.
He made it seem
So that's
bad,
the main
right? Like, I mean, even just watching it, and you know, you don't have to be someone who likes Andrew Tate. You can watch that thing, what he, you know, the whole fight, the fighting event, and all that stuff. And it was actually pretty cool, right? I mean, there was nothing negative about it as much as it.
Exactly. I mean, for me also, I entered this with an open mind and trying to be unbiased. I'm not an Andrew Tate fan, you know, particularly. I don't care very much in that way, but I'm interested in seeing different angles of the story.
Do you think strip clubs are... Hold on. I think you're getting permabanned. I can't, because you're either too retarded to ever talk about this, or you're just like a fucking Tate fanboy, and you opening your mouth in my chat with his cum dribbling out of it is fucking disgusting. Do you think strip clubs are bad because they can employ women that have no previous experience in that industry? Imagine if you go into a sex club, or not a sex club, imagine you go into a strip club and they tell you every single girl is starting day one. Every single girl is fresh and new and has never done any of that work before in her life. That would be incredibly sus. If Andrew Tate had some women that were new to it, some women that had experience, some women that were very experienced, that'd be different. But when every single person is new, that seems weird. It seems like something strange is happening there. Like, it seems like you're getting women that wouldn't traditionally do this work, and you're basically not kidnapping them, but you're drafting them in through some illicit means. That's what the feeling would be. Because what are the chances you're getting a bunch of first-time or new girls for the first time? Every single person in your club is like that. Seems like you're getting women that wouldn't traditionally do this work. Seems like they're probably being tricked into it. That's what the feeling would be. If you're not retarded, right, or virgin, that's going to be your thought. Why does it have to be illicit? What if they are just selecting newcomers because customers prefer them Destiny? Sure, and that could be the case. That's why I'm saying when I come in, it's really sus, okay? A 32-year-old dating a 19-year-old is really sus. Doesn't necessarily mean anything's going on, but like that's more, you know, cause for concern, cause for investigation. Okay, well, what's going on? You know, what's happening, right? Now with everything else that's come out, now it looks horrible. Now it looks like sex trafficking, right? Now that all the other information's come out, it's like, okay, yeah, of course they're all first-timer new girls because he's drafting girls that don't want to do sex work. These are women that would never traditionally do this, but he's lured them to fucking Romania. He's stuck them in a basement. He's basically said, if you love me, like you said you would, I need you to do porn, right?
Story. And also I had the same vibe when I saw the Vice documentary. It really doesn't feel good at all. Like really manipulative and literally cheating on the people where they went to film.
Tried to frame it as a negative thing. You know, I think we can all admit that men need to challenge themselves. I think everyone can admit, unless they're like complete betas or something, right?
So have you spoken to Matt after the after the documentary was filmed or throughout the editing process?
Yeah, we've had some WhatsApp back and forth. And look, I really don't agree with everyone throwing hate at him online. I think the comments that people are throwing at him is disgusting. I can guarantee you there are no members of the War Room writing in such an unprofessional fashion. He is a good-hearted guy. And I think in a parallel universe, he and I could probably be good mates. He believes he's doing the right thing. He's passionate about, protecting and supporting women. So am I. So good on him. It's just, I would have liked there to be a little more professionalism in the reporting, because there was a whole lot of positive stuff. You'll see my comment when I got up and left the room. I said, this is such a clear narrative. We aren't even discussing the positive stuff for men, or the fact that he'd just been through a 3-day event, which he himself said was very useful and positive, but we're just going to forget that and focus on the negative. So yeah, I have talked to him. And again, I like the guy. I'm sad to see him get such negative and toxic comments on Twitter and so on. But he acted in a very unprofessional and unethical manner, and that was quite disappointing.
They showed like a naked girl in the window and said like the guys were having fun or whatever. Could you just explain just some, more about that? Because the Vice documentary did not. Yeah. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I saw that, and that's a good example of the Vice approach. So there are no naked girls involved in an MMA event, and the fact that there's some girls in a hotel.
We've seen also other example of editing which were not straightforward truthful.
That somehow, talk about reaching. I found that to be quite funny. So I never saw any naked girls. There were no naked girls involved in the event. There were some naked girls in a hotel. I mean, if you want to try and claim that that's some way tying into the event, there's no substance there. So what I can say is there were no naked girls involved in the event. I didn't see a single naked girl. And when I saw Vice doing that, I was like, all right, cool. That's Vice doing.
Makes sense. Most likely it's illegal. Most likely it's illegal to do something like that to a sporting event. I mean, come on.
I mean, all of Andrew Tate's shit is admitting that he's done illegal shit like this. I mean, is it really that much of a stretch?
Doesn't Andrew Tate say, there's girls here? Like after the event wraps up, he's like, have fun, enjoy. There's girls here. It's like, what is that supposed to imply?
Yep.
Yeah.
So from what I understand, some of the guys went out to a nightclub or something because there's girls in the city. And after an MMA fight, I imagine you want to go to a bar and talk to a girl. But there was no organized girls as part of the event. There was no naked girls as part of the event. I know. I was there at the event. So that's not true. It's not real.
What about the Ferrari bit where they painted you as a guy who wants to show off his car? And
yeah, thanks. That one I actually really laughed out loud. So our man Matt, with respect, and I don't want to say anything that will lead to him getting more hate, because again, I do not, and Tate would not approve of the hate being thrown.
Man, they're nicer than probably that guy deserves, honestly, because they knew what they were doing. They really tried to manipulate their way in and find dirt. They didn't go.
It's Vice reporters. What do you think is gonna happen if fucking Huffington Post shows up at my apartment and they want to do a piece on me? Yeah, of course it's gonna be probably negative. Yeah, no shit.
In with the intent of actually trying to show what he was.
Which fucking brain dead Andrew Tate fan linked this disproves everything. All he's saying is no, that didn't happen. No, it didn't. No, it didn't. No, it didn't. What am I supposed to take from this? There's no evidence or anything for anything here.
Doing for real. They just wanted to depict him as a cult leader that he...
imagine I'm talking about Hunter Biden and I wheel out Hillary Clinton and I say, well, look, Hunter Biden's innocent. Hillary Clinton said it's fine. You guys would lose your fucking mind. But I'm supposed to take fucking Andrew Tate's lawyer and his brother and his security's opinion for what's going on? What the fuck is wrong with you guys? You would never buy this for anybody else on the left. Come on.
Was spreading misogynistic idea and so on and so forth. And I think I disagree with that. At least for the majority of the content that I've seen that actually focused on guys, empowering guys. At least what I saw.
Right now. So he said to me, and his whole team were quite excited about my car because that's one of my favorite vehicles, and I've done a bit of work to it. So it's loud, it's flashy, it's a classic Ferrari. And so they were all like, "Oh, can we go for a ride?" The cameraman was a car enthusiast. He was really excited to go for a ride. So I said, "Yeah, sure." And then Matt said, "Hey, we need to do the final chat. Do you want to involve the car somehow?" I said, "Yeah, all right, cool." And so we'd agreed we were going to do it in the car. So we walked to the car, and then he says, while the camera's rolling, hey, you want to do the interview in here? As if it's my idea. And you actually, if you watch the video, you see me pause. I'm like, yeah, why not? Because it's like, bro, we just had that discussion. So then that's when I realized he was fronting for the camera. But again, my intent was, you know, I don't need to call him out and make him look bad. Let's go along with it. But for them, so all of him and his team are asking to involve my car. But then he puts it forward as if I'm some guy who's compensating and trying to show off my car. It was quite funny.
Well, that's interesting to see this type of manipulation taking place. I'm not surprised by any stretch of the imagination, but it's nice that actually he's coming forward, telling his side of the story. Again, we also don't know what is truth 100%, but at least it's interesting to hear another angle. And I wouldn't be surprised if they did that, because once you see what they've done already, Vice, I'm talking about, then you know that that's an attitude they have towards documenting things, right?
I don't think it's anything. It's not a big deal. It's harmless, but it just shows the deception there on every level.
Yeah.
They're lying on the macro and on the micro.
Why did Andrew, just curious?
Oh, sorry, Mark.
Go ahead, Sliman. No, I was just asking a question. Like, why, before going, Sliman, I'll let you ask the next question. But why did Andrew accept to do the interview knowing it's going to be a hit piece?
Okay, so his logic, he and I discussed this at length because I was very strongly against Vice being there. But again, it's his brand, it's his event, fair enough. He said they're going to do a hit piece anyway. Might as well let them come and see that there's nothing mysterious or nefarious. And I think there is some grounds to that. But
why wouldn't you just not let them do it at all? Like, don't you think it makes you look worse if you let them in but don't let them talk to any of the girls? Doesn't that look worse than just not doing it at all? Why would you do that? I don't understand Andrew's goal there. That seems so stupid.
Either way, I mean,
either way, you get a lot of attention anyhow. This is at the end of the day what it is, and
yeah, how's that working out for you?
Still publicity. Again, quite nice to hear a different angle about this old documentary. You also know that Vice is going through a lot of troubles. I've seen older articles where Disney invested $400 million and never getting back. The company trying to be sold in pieces to other companies. They were like on the falling slope, and I think they needed some good story, and they took the chance here when this whole thing happened with Andrew Tate going in and cooked up a nice hit piece. So let's not forget that what is happening to Tate, it's still a probe. So nothing has happened yet. And they...
Well, no. When was this video? Hold on. Somebody could correct me if I'm wrong, but a probe is like an initial... Maybe something's going on, let's start an investigation. We're past the probe. I'm pretty sure he's been charged formally with a crime. That implies that the probing is done. We're past the probe. We're at the like trial stage. I don't know what he means when he says there's a probe, unless either I'm misunderstanding that term, or he doesn't understand it, or he's lying. This is 10 seconds long.
Took measure to continue this probe. And we will see. That means
Tate wasn't arrested when this was shot. This is 3 days old.
Innocent until proven guilty. We'll see where it leads. We are here. I'll keep you updated. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you later in another video. Ciao.
Video. You can link me the fresh and fit video if you want again, but I don't think that I don't think you're gonna say anything of substance in that video. I'm pretty sure this is gonna be dumb shit. But if someone wants to link it to me, go for it.